So we have an interesting session here, which is about AI in administration and governance. So we have the pleasure of having different states from North India, Uttarakhand, and from South India, we have Tamil Nadu, and we have our expert who is Shalini Kapoor, who is the chief strategist of data and AI at EkStep Foundation. So may I request um, Shalini to speak first and set the context. And since EkStep has been collaborating with the various state governments, so your experience and vision of deploying AI in governance. Shalini ji, over to you.
Sure. Thank you very much. And I think in governance and in government systems, the adoption of AI is something which we have to look at because it is citizen-centric and it has to be inclusive. It has to know how to scale to large volumes and also be aligned to the local and cultural context that we have. So the key things are, how do we create AI for good? How do we democratize the AI resources which have been put together by big tech to a purpose which is beneficial to citizens? So it's not just technology, it is applying and making it purposeful for the citizens, but that needs larger compute, large amount of data. And hence what we do is that we build an AI adoption framework, and we have built the framework based on use cases. The use cases which are happening in the country, say on agriculture, in education, and in healthcare. Think about a farmer. Government has spent so much amount of money to give crop advisory to the farmer. But the crop advisory is in English. It's sitting in a document which the farmer cannot access. Now AI enables making in local dialect. It could be Marathi, it could be Tamil. It can go across multiple documents, structured, unstructured data, and bringing the right context and personalization, say in a voice bot, and not necessarily writing in a chat window, which makes it unusable for the farmer. So getting the context right, getting the research right on the tips of the farmer is something which AI enables today. AI is helpful, and the adoption of AI in public service delivery systems, where you reach large citizens for information, say for schemes. Today, if an entrepreneur sitting in Dharwad wants to access schemes and wants to know that, I want to start an electronics component manufacturing business, and I want to know, I have 1 to 5 crores turnover business, and how do I go about building that? They have to go through, they'll scout the internet, they'll visit the department, they'll call up the call center. The information asymmetry is very high. AI removes AI information symmetry because it can make it possible to have it in voice. It can make it possible to go through a lot of structured data, remove redundancies, remove conflicts in the data which might be existing, and give the refined answer. So AI has huge benefits in public service delivery systems to reaching out to the citizens, making them better, inclusive, and also accessible. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. And apologies that the partition is happening and we are already delayed, so we had to start this. So we have to handle this. And I will request our speaker from ELCOT, who is the MD, and your state is considered um, at the uh, driver's seat in adopting of IT and AI. So if you can talk about like some of the experiences of your state in adopting the AI.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. To continue from what Madam said, the access and democratizing AI has been the hallmark of our interventions with related to AI. For example, there are multiple test cases where AI is being utilized, and we are still working with various players. The entire government data which is available is now we are in the process of bringing it in open data platform, and we are working with around 25 startups in bringing models based on the data. The data spans from various sectors like land management, healthcare, education, and so on. This is one place where we will be able to find out models, executionable models based on healthcare data or any other data, sector-wise data which is available. And the entire farmers across the state of Tamil Nadu, a substantial number to say. So they are all connected through Ulavan is a mobile application, and the entire database of agriculture is done through.
Roj, just inform the other hall to like reduce the volume or take a pause for 2 minutes. Okay.
Sorry. The entire agricultural land in Tamil Nadu is now being mapped with the help of remote sensing satellites already available. The entire topography is being mapped, and the cropping patterns are regularly mapped based on the color sensitization through a project called Grains, which is supported by Government of India. Now, any cropping pattern, what crop will be available for the next season, the pricing policies, everything can be decided centrally using an AI managed tool. And the disaster impact in case of any heavy rainfall or any other disaster, the impact can be measured, monitored, and compensations can be distributed in the shortest possible time. So this is where in agriculture and in identification of diseases, pest control, like we have an agriculture university, one of the oldest in the country, which is working on this aspect of AI in disease management, crop disease management, where based on the inputs given through the mobile application, the university sends and identifies the pattern. Along with satellite images, they find out the disease pattern, and the disease control happens at the shortest possible time, leading to prevention of losses to the farmers. In conservation, we have a working model near Coimbatore. It's a place called Podanur. The Valayar railway corridor is known for elephant accidents. Train accidents killing elephants every year. We used to hear elephants, the herds getting killed in toto, 10 elephants, 15 elephants, including the cubs getting killed. Now, an AI-based intervention tool, which has been placed along the track all across, it's an AI-based camera, and it is connected to the communication network of the train engine, so rail engine. So, as soon as an elephant herd crosses, the engine driver gets a signal that an elephant herd is crossing. So in the past 1 year, since this AI-based intervention has been made in this elephant corridor, the accidents have become zero. So this is another case where AI is being used in conservation. And we are also rejuvenating our mangroves across the coastal Tamil Nadu, where we are identifying the mangrove supportive ecosystem using AI as a tool. And we are also working on a healthcare model where the disease incidents can be identified, especially on the non-communicable diseases. The incidents and the management can be identified. And in future, we may see something where we can give a predictive management of non-communicable diseases. In education, I spoke in the morning session also, where we now have a data right before birth. till the end, for the entire life cycle of, and we can track the entire life cycle through the data available with government of a person who is born in Tamil Nadu. So with that, we are mapping the children with the colleges. College seats which are available in the state of Tamil Nadu, with an aim from increasing our gross enrollment ratio from the existing 52% to 75%. At 52, we are already on par with the developed nations across the world. At 75, we will be 75% gross enrollment. We will be leaders in the world in ensuring enrollment. And then in terms of supporting MSMEs, in terms of supporting welfare schemes also, the intervention is being made, especially in the benefit scheme for women, the 1,000 rupees benefit scheme which is being given to the women households. So even there, an AI-based tool which have analyzed and identified the beneficiaries within a fortnight time has been used, which is coupled with field verification. So this is the way where government is working with industry partners, market players across sectors, not just in one or two sectors, but across sectors. May it be a temperature management inside a poultry farm, or it is in a high-end systems like a space system or space-based research or cybersecurity or anything like that. Across the spectrum, we are working with the market, we are working with the innovators in bringing the AI more into a practical tool to augment the capacity of the sectors.
I will ask my team. Anuj, Anuj, इसको close होना है please. Yeah. So may I request after listening to the experience of Tamil Nadu, may I request our speaker from Uttarakhand to speak about your experience. Manuj, Goyal ji. Yeah.
Right. So, like already mentioned by the previous two speakers, AI is kind of opening a lot of spaces, data analytics, information processing, which can help a lot of processes in government. But I'll give you two examples, which I'm working on right now. And I will also share some of the apprehensions. So in the higher education department, government is always having crunch of resources, not just in one department, but everywhere. So what role AI can play there is actually the best use of existing resources, optimization of resources. Elaborating on this problem, across hundreds of colleges, and hundreds of subjects that these teachers are teaching, these professors are teaching, just to understand, make a perfect timetable where these resources can be best utilized against number of teachers, subjects available, it has become a tedious task for us. And we are taking help of AI to optimize these decisions. Similarly, I'll share an example of healthcare sector. As MD NHM, we have a program that is called 104. In which it's like a call center. It's like a helpline for anyone who needs health advocacy, counseling, or telemedicine services. Right now, how we are doing it is, we are actually having a team of some 50-60 people who will either take inbound calls or would be doing outbound calls for these citizens or probably patients. Where I see AI helping in these things is making this whole process automated and increase the number of calls or increase the number of interactions which can be done with these citizens, and therefore improving service delivery as well as impact of these things. One place where we see a lot of gaps in governance is actually data analysis. So we have lots and lots of data, especially in my role as MD NHM, I see immense data. But the analytics is not there. So those are the places where AI can actually pitch in. But at the same time, there is a word of caution for people from industry here. So on a daily basis, lot of people approach us with some or other AI solution. But most of the time, these solutions are business proposal one-sided. That is, they have a business proposal from their side, which suits them, but which is not very kind of which is not actually giving us a solution to the problems that we are facing. So as industry people, I would request that try those solutions or develop those solutions which can actually be a win-win for both the sides. And that can actually help take up of AI solution in the government sector. So that's the take from my side. Thank you.
Excellent. So I will ask Shalini that based on your involvement with the government organizations, how AI ready is a government organization at all? Like there are like several who are AI ready, but there are several who are not even digital. So how do you handle this?
Yeah, sure. And thank you for this question because it's a very relevant part of it. A bit about EkStep Foundation. EkStep Foundation is funded by, it's by Nandan Nilekani, and Shankar Marwara is the CEO. And we work with various central and state governments in advising them, guiding them, because of the experience in DPI thinking. The whole digital public infrastructure which was created, it has been created in the country about, with Aadhaar, with UPI, with FASTag, with DigiYatra. I mean, these are DPIs which have helped the citizens gain a lot of benefit in terms of how you will, so the first layer, and that's what you asked, the first layer was making people ready about who am I, right? The identity. So that is Aadhaar. How do I transact? That is by, UPI and the financial payments flow. So a lot of digital India work has happened in the last decade, and that is the foundation of digital India which has got laid. The whole account aggregator, the fact that people have today banking and financial accounts. So there has been a lot of work which has happened in the last 1 year to make digital India happen. And I'll go back to what my colleague from Uttarakhand said, that the data, there is a lot of data. Now what has happened is that there is a lot of data which has got created. How do you create insights? And that's what we are working. We are creating, right now we are creating and we are thinking that can we apply the DPI thinking principles to make data as a DPI? Right? When data becomes a DPI, that means the data has to be trustworthy. It has to be exchangeable and shareable, because if I don't trust, I don't want to share my data. There's fear. There's so much of fear about what will happen to my data if I share with you. So there is a trust involved. There should be an incentive to share the data, right? So that why should I share my data? What will I get? But the data doesn't have as much value as the insights, and that's why I'm thankful that you talked about insights, because inside, pure data, raw form data, if you look at it, it could be petabytes of data, but of no value, right? Until unless you create the right models, algorithms, and insights out of the data. And that's where AI helps. And then the shareability. So trust, shareability, incentive, value, we call it as a GIVE framework, GIVE. That framework is important for us to lay down and then start sharing data to create a data hub. The data hubs can be created at local level, say in Madurai, say in Dehradun, say in Hebal, say in Dharwad, which are helping the local economy, but it caters to the data of that area, which is helpful to the people, to the MSMEs, to the agriculture land which a farmer might be owning. So how do you create that insight is what we are focusing on. And there are some really interesting benefits that we are seeing, because people, to succeed in life, people want credit. And the second, what we are seeing is they want insights of where to sell, and how do I make my life easy by better, knowing more about schemes, about compliances, so that my cost of business, running the business comes down. So so you have to, and if you go in the digital India, there is a digital stack, but then there has to be a data stack which has to happen, and the shareability has to happen before it gives a lot of AI. So AI is a big unlock, but that unlock can happen only if you have unlocked the data below it. So that's the layer that we are working on, and we are creating the design principles as as public goods, which people can use, which states can use, which industry can they can attach their huge compute or huge innovations, because startups are the ones who will do the innovations on top of this data stack that we are talking of.
Excellent. Yeah, yeah.
I just wanted to add regarding the data. There is a lot of sensitivity towards sharing of data, right? And a lot of this data is actually public data also. So the industry needs to explain what is public data which is already available, right? And what is really the sensitive part of it. And they are the one who would actually kind of have to build that trust that the sensitive data would be secure. Because when industry approaches, the first question is, what about the security of data, right? So that trust and that answer the industry has to bring in when they're proposing any solution, at least to the governments or for that matter any organization.
Yeah, I think very valid point. And so what we are doing is we are creating, see, the definition of data for public service systems has to be set. So it is non-personal data, and these are all alternate data. They are not personally identifiable data, right? It's not my account information, it's not my Aadhaar ID. But, I traveled and I booked a truck for logistics for sending my goods from this place to that place. And the routing map or, the logistics information of how many logistics suppliers are available, how many truck suppliers are available, that every industry needs today. So there is a lot of non-personal data also in place, and we are trying to create a taxonomy or language of what is, what different kinds of data are possible, and then create also tech. You can become very, thankfully the technology is so good, there are so many good protocols which are existing, which make the data trustworthy, which makes the data tagged as, this is the shareability standard. So there are, with AI, there are, protocols like model context protocol available, which make your data readily available, and who has accessed it, who has called it, and where is it going into an LLM. So thankfully technology has those answers today, and we are ensuring that we take open source and we take those open protocols, and there is no, because the shareability has to be seen and transparent. The explainability and interpretability are very, very important in that.
Your opinion on the data issues, if you can.
From what we are discussing, we need to, I think there is a gap there where we need to have a framework, a national level framework, because in government sharing data, we are always conservative and we are like, keep it close to our hearts. We don't want to share anything. So like DP, Data Protection Act, which we are having at the government national level, we need to have some national level framework for this data sharing mechanism, because we being we being the most populous nation, and we being the biggest consumers of data, and we need to find out a way or a enabling framework to ensure security and protection of data which is being used, and say for a government entity or an institution, there should be a framework through which they can comfortably share the data without any legal hassles or issues. So we as government and as industry, we need to work together, because there is a huge gap in that area of creating a framework of how to make this data more usable and how to work with industry. In a way, such efforts are taking place in silos in various places. I think, if I'm right, the government of Telangana is doing something in that front. In Tamil Nadu, we are working on that front. But there is a need for a national level uniform framework where we can share that kind of data. It will be easy for everyone, and it will be a uniform, legal and regulatory friendly policy which can work.
Fantastic. I think important issues have been raised here, and I have questions, but I will ask the audience, like if anyone has any questions or inputs or suggestions on the, yeah. Please stand up and identify yourself, give your name and organization, and yeah. Yeah. You speak.
I mean, that's really nice for you to volunteer. We have a very good volunteering system, where, in fact, I come from corporate sector as well for 30 years, and I also volunteered before I said this is the right impact that I should work for. You can reach out to us. I have my colleague David. David, if you can just raise your hand, and he'll help you. And we have. You'll be surprised to see the fanciest of the designations in corporate sector actually volunteering with us.
Any inputs on this, on how to engage the private sector in this?
Yeah. As a government, I would still say we are still, I'm just reflecting, it's not myself, but I'm reflecting the mood of institutions in government. Madam may be knowing well. We are still very conservative. We are like very close to closed and all those things. But yes, we understand that there is a huge need to work because government across its spectrum doesn't have this expertise in all these evolving technologies. So there is a large need to work with the industry, to work with the technocrats in the market, the innovation ecosystem, the startup ecosystem, NGOs and interested people who are willing to work with it. So it is, in a way, we are working with startups. We have started in a small scale. We are just trying and testing how it goes on. It's going on for the past almost a year. And definitely, we will be creating a platform. We are in the process of creating it. We will be creating a platform where even the freelancers, technocrats in the market industry can all come together and contribute in making this, taking it to the next levels. So it is like, I would say, it is still a work in progress from as far as my state is concerned. But I would say we are working and we are taking our best efforts in breaking this logjam. That much I can say.
You want to speak on this?
So, like KP mentioned, we are conservative, but we are opening up. And I think people are eager to work with this new tech, especially the Gen AI and all. The only, I think, constraint that we find is there is a process of functioning in government. And there is a way that the corporate wants to work. And that needs to be aligned. And as of now, governments usually don't kind of change their ways. It's a big system, whole bureaucracy and everything. It's really difficult. So if the corporate sector or people from private sector, NGOs, etc., they're kind of able to understand how the goals can be aligned and kind of be flexible, then I think there are steps that everyone is taking, small steps, and ultimately these small steps will lead to bigger things.
Sure. Any other inputs, suggestions from audience? No? So I will have a last question, and I will request each of the panelists to respond briefly. That how, what is like your vision of AI in government for next 3 years? Like how do you see it impacting, if at all? So, Shalini, what do you?
See, in AI, vision is so it moves every day it moves. There are so many different things happening. Yeah, I think I would say that personally I'm very kicked about the fact that what it can do for healthcare, especially moving out to a lot of citizens, and how much you can manage at nutrition level, finding out nutrition and helping. So there are a lot of socio-economic problems that are there. So, which the government is trying to solve, and there is a lot of effort happens, and there are a lot of good policies which are there. In fact, my experience with the government is that I'm always surprised by actually how progressive they are. I don't even use the word conservative these days, because there is a lot of progressiveness. And I think that, the goals are there, the policies are there. AI can make some of the large problems that we have, especially in India, related to health, nutrition, and also disease predictions, and what we can do at even at a district level by an analysis at the India level. There's a lot which can be done. So I think my vision would be that every person has AI helps every person in their own health journey. That's what I feel.
Fantastic. Your vision.
So the pace at which the technology is evolving, things are changing in a matter of 6 months. Some becomes obsolete and something new comes in. And the way which AI is progressing and the way with which quantum is coming in, and this is going to change the entire landscape in maybe in another 5 years or at the max 10 years. We just need to crack the code of making quantum work in a room temperature and give the solutions, or to fix the computing needs. So it is going to change how the humanity maybe from simple day-to-day works till drug discovery or R&D. This is going to change the entire landscape like anything. And even our encrypted so-called secure data will become irrelevant with quantum cybersecurity. It will decrypt everything, and it will be able to read everything in minutes or hours maybe. So in that kind of landscape, I see this is an era of opportunity where we need to work together to make governance more proactive and more predictive. And it should not be like instead of being a responsive or a responsive government, more proactive governance is going to come in every sector. May it be health, may it be education, may it be social security, or may it be agriculture, climate management, sustainability. Everything we are going to see in another 10 years. One of the biggest changes is going to come in the way which we administer or we govern. So that is one predictive and proactive governance is going to come is what I anticipate and I foresee from what is happening now in the tech world.
Sure. I think you will have the last word.
No, so from government point of view, 3 years may not be a sufficient time, but from AI point of view, I think it's very, very long time. It's changing every day. From what I see, my colleagues talking about, people in government talking about, AI would really become an integral part of the entire governance in, if not in 3 years, maybe in 5 years, 7 years. I think a lot of issues we discussed earlier in the session, if we can work towards resolving those issues and have a common goal, align our vision to find the right kind of solutions, there is a lot of adoption of AI in governance, which I see in the next few years. Thank you.
Excellent. So, any questions, audience? If not, okay, yeah. Last one. Roj, if you can just give a mic, please. You can speak, start speaking, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Whatever the input the AI gives, right? So don't you think that somewhere is setting back the process of learning, where people generally do the R&D, learn. There's a process that we gain knowledge. Don't you think that somewhere that is breaking that process, and there's a step back right? That's going to be a setback when you see in the future. Are we doing anything to bridge that gap? Because I think that's going to be concerning in the upcoming days, right?
So we hear stories about when the first rail engine train was introduced, or how the Britishers used to catch people and put them in train to familiarize them with train. From that era, today we have moved into a situation where people voluntarily, and it's such a democratization technology, it has democratized the access. I can just do a UPI transaction at a local kirana shop or a street vendor shop. So yes, there is a gap in how, as a technocrat, somebody understands AI, or in government, I as an administrator, and my understanding of AI, and as a student, or as a common man who doesn't even have a school or college education understands AI. But it is there. They find some use case, they find some utility, like UPI access, or somebody says, if I can get a medical health care through my phone, and if I can diagnose my cataract or a heart disease, or my blood circulation, my blood pressure, everything, through a phone, or through a device which is available at my home, and I can extend my life, or I can increase my productivity, then we learn by doing things. So there is a huge gap at various levels. At one level, we are talking about a high technology, and inclusion is always a problem. It has been there when industrialization was happening, when Y2K or computer revolution was happening, and now with the digital era, the inclusion is there. But as a government, how are we going to bridge that gap and bring everyone closer together? We are here for seeing Jandan. We are seeing on our day-to-day UPI how it has been changing, Aadhaar how it has penetrated and changed, and we are hopeful, we are very optimistic that we will be able to provide an inclusive AI solution and bring even the remotest population into this fold. That's what we are very, as a government, I think every state, every government, I can take this liberty of answering for my colleagues also. We are very confident of bridging that gap of inclusion. So that is going to happen, and it will happen.
So we will end here.